Hey, what's up everyone, Goalie here, and I'm bringing you guys Domination on Underground with the MP7, and this gameplay is actually fairly good, and it is actually my first Osprey Gunner gameplay. So you guys will see it. It might be a little bit campy because I was really close to my Osprey Gunner, so I was like, yeah, let's get this. But what I want to quickly say before this is this commentary is based on the fact, based about another commentary that I heard about another planet similar to Earth, and my thoughts behind this were we need to learn, because it's so many light years away that it'd take us so long to get there that we would need generation after generation after generation, and probably way more just to get there. It is not going to be an easy thing to do. And with that said, we need to invent the technology to move faster in space, because many of you guys know it takes 3 days, or hopefully many of you guys know it takes 3 days to get to the moon, and it takes a year at the closest area to get to Mars. And the plan is to, I think they might have sent people out to Mars or already, I'm not 100% sure on that, but it takes a year to get to Mars, and it'll take a year for them to go back to that place, so it takes another year back. And that's what they're planning on doing, which a year on Mars is more than likely longer than it is on Earth. And with that said, we need to invent the technology to move faster in space so that it would take 5 minutes to get to the moon, 10 hours to get to Mars, and that's just one trip. Because like, if you can invent a way so it only takes 10 minutes to get to the moon and back, we would solve so many problems, because it would allow us to explore space so much easier. It won't even be funny. Like, there will be long trips, like if a week, think about it. Mars takes a year right now. You get that down to 10 hours. A week, let's see, how many hours in a week? 7 times 24 equals 168 hours. Divide that by 10. You'd be able to make 16.8 trips to Mars if it took us 10 hours to get there. And just think about that. How far could we go? Like, right now, with the technology we have, 16 trips to Mars, 16.8 trips to Mars at this current time would take 16 years, just about 17 years. And if you think about that, that's going to take a long time. So we need to invent the technology, just for the simple fact that the Earth will not be able to sustain the life on it in the next, I'm guessing, 25 to 50 years. I know that's a long time, but think about it, guys. People are living longer, which makes more people on the Earth, makes more generations on the Earth, which we will not be able to sustain that life at one point. And I'm really hoping I don't have to deal with that, because it will become a survival of the fittest, and I can guarantee that. And this is what's going to happen. The rich people are going to stay alive, the poor people are going to die. And I don't like that. Just for the simple fact that it's not fair. No one should have to deal with that. Oh, I hate Dead Man's Hand so bad. But you guys, we need, if any of you guys can invent that technology to do that, you will be a Nobel Prize winner. Because to invent technology from going to 3 days to 5 minutes is huge. And you have to be good at the job. I think it's what's the job? I'm not 100% sure what it is. I think it's like astrophysicist, rocket scientist. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure. But if you're a rocket scientist and you did that, guys, you would win a Nobel Prize so easily, because it will allow people to live. Because if the world cannot sustain the amount of people on it, the oxygen is going to run out, the food's going to run out, the water's going to run out. And lots of people at this current moment do think that the world's going to run out of fresh water. And that's going to be what the future wars are going to be about. That's something I've learned in social studies. And what I mainly learned is the U.S. is trying to take Canada's water because they think it's in the NAFTA, which is North American Free Trade Agreement. They're saying that water is part of the agreement and we have to trade with them. Personally, I disagree. It is our water. It is our natural resources. If we make something, such as chairs, we have to produce that gas for vehicles. We can trade that to you. We produce it. But it is a natural resource. We could simply say, or get it set so that no one can even touch the water except us. It's simple as that. And just for the simple fact, many of you guys are American. I like Americans. I have my team only Americans so far. I think Term Nation was a Canadian. But you guys gotta understand that with the lack of resources in the world in the future, people are going to have to protect themselves. And with the world today, this is seriously what's going to come down to the world. Is going to be survival of the fittest. So you will not see people still making money off YouTube because people won't be watching the videos. They'll be trying to protect their families. And you won't see people going to stores and paying for stuff. You'll see them taking it. Survival of the fittest. The rich will stay alive and the poor will probably die. And that's unfair. So we need to make the technology to be able to go into space at a faster speed. Because without that, this world is not going to last. I'm giving this world a maximum of probably, let's see, at this current moment, we are just about in lack of water. Gas is going to run out eventually. And I forget the word for it, but basically what it is something to do with we use more resources than we can produce. So not like gas doesn't come back as fast as we use it. So with that, because you know for a fact that's going to come, water's going to run out. Sure, they can find ways to do it. Like there is ways to purify water, such as heating it up. But you gotta think about this from another stand. How much water can you actually heat up to make enough for America? The water's going to eventually run out, and that's not something I want to see happen. And honestly, the only way to survive is being able to go out into space and find a new planet. And that's crazy to think about because the world will end. And as I said before, I didn't really finish this, but I'm going to give the world between 500 and 1,000 years before everything goes to crap, and at least 2,000 years before the world's done. And the only way to do this is to get rid of people, and you can't really just get rid of people, which really sucks because I don't want to have to deal with these problems. I don't want anyone in, like, any of my kids or grandchildren or great-grandchildren or anyone to deal with this problem, because this is a serious problem, guys, and we gotta deal with it because the world won't last much longer. And I know 500 to 1,000 years is a lot of time, but think about it. You can't just expect to live forever. the world's how old, and without like the survival of the fittest, these are two things that can happen. One, we use nuclear weapons and kill everyone, and two, people who survive and will rebuild the world. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. And I think my next one's going to talk about mainly YouTube, and kind of similar to rich get richer and poor stay poor. See you guys later.